All right, everybody. I just want to make this an educational video about my sad, pathetic life right now. I want to take everyone back to when 2008, where the economy was about to go down, right? From my experience, and I know everybody else has had that same experience since it happened. Uh, I just graduated high school at that time, and then I went straight to college. As I went straight to college, all the high hopes and optimism after high school from friends and whatnot. Um, it wasn't until like 2009 that's when I saw everything, go downhill. Like I remember watching in the local news. Now, before I begin, I was stationed in Orlando, where that's where the school resided, and I ended up, going to this school known as IADT, International Academy of Design and Technology. Yo, this is where I used to go to school at. Let me zoom in. You see this? It's closed. Closed down, nothing but bricks. Look over here. Wait, hold on. Let me focus. Look at that. Nothing but containers. Holy cow. And so I wanted to go there. I wanted to go there because Full Sail, which was the biggest top name in Orlando and expensive. So it's like I couldn't, actually go there and afford it. So, my mom and my parents, they saw alternative. I'm like, cool, because there were other places that I was thinking about going in Miami, like Art Institute. That was another one, but I ended up going to the one in Orlando. Now, fast forward to 2009 when the economy crashed, and I knew that right then and there that I'm gonna be in this bubble just for 3 years. Like I'm in this bubble for 3 years. And since I'm in this bubble for 3 years, it's like, what's gonna happen afterwards? And I already knew. So from 2008 to 2011, 2011 is when I graduated. And at that time, it's obvious, I was trying to make something happen, but it wasn't gonna work out like that. You try to get an idea of what you're gonna do or trying to find a job, obviously. Now, let's go back to 2009. 2009, I come to find out that our school that we were in was a scam. I remember hearing it. I'm not making this up. I remember hearing it. I think it was 2009, 2010, either or. That it was a scam. I was like, wow. So, but to all my colleagues, we were like, well, we're here. Might as well make the best of it and see what happens. Now, 2011, yeah, it was a rough start. The school kept sending me papers and stuff like that, like places to apply to. Now, mind you, I kept telling myself, like, yo, this ain't gonna work. I know I'm not gonna get none of these jobs. So, I mean, I'm just fish on dry land, you know what I'm saying? Well, technically, I'm like a crocodile trying to find water, but all I could do is, gallop on land just to, make do. So, around 2011, I had to find a place to stay. I moved to Claremont, and it made me realize, like, around 2011 and then around 2012, I remember it was on the news where that it showed like degrees that didn't mean, like, for real, it did not mean, and it surprised me, and it showed the list on the news, and I was like, wow. Fine arts, what else? Because that's what I majored in. I majored in digital media production. Fine arts wasn't good enough. Like, didn't mean, had no value. I think it was like American Studies or something like that. I can't remember. But that's but the only thing that caught my attention was fine arts. So I was like, wow, okay, so fine arts is a no-go. And I still remember this. They pointed out that the ones that were good was finance, technology, computer science, um, those were the ones that were like, valued. Like, you could get in anywhere with those kind of margins, depending, right? So, I started working a regular job, and I said to myself that, like, I should have never went to college. Like, straight up, I should have never went to college, period, at all. I keep hearing the same old nonsense about, you know, college would be a great benefit, but I'm like, but today it sounds like a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the past, it sounded reasonable. For real, like, it sounded reasonable. Today, no, it don't mean nothing. And you have a lot of people, more people in debt than usual. Like, more people who are my age or younger. And I'm like, okay. And right now we're in a pandemic, and there's nothing we can do about it, right? Of course. Safety precautions, we have to, But I told myself, I've been saving since I was a kid, and my money's gone. My old money's gone. And I'll never forget it because my mom had put it in a bank, right? I remember I had like 500 something dollars. For an elementary school kid, that was enough. That was a lot. And I kept saying as a joke, like, to myself, like, yo, my old money was still here, it would have meant new money. The old G's meet the new kids on the block in my bank account. But I kept thinking to myself, like, yo, with all that's going on with the colleges and people graduating, cool. It's the fact that, like, what's going on now, it's obvious that it's getting to certain people. But for the safety and precaution, I guess it's a must, right? It's obviously a must. My thing is, my whole point is, I remember in 2009, I'll never forget this. I'm serious. In Orlando, I turned on the TV because I wasn't watching a lot of TV. I stopped watching TV around 2008 because certain shows were coming on, and I wasn't really interested. And it's like, it didn't grab my attention and art style because I'm an artist. I like to draw. I've been drawing for 20 years now, and it's something I had to think about. But I wasn't feeling it. But I remember around 2009, I turned on the television, and I remember seeing a man get fired. Now, mind you, it was on the news, and it said something about the economy, people shutting down, people laying off a lot of people. So I'd never forget this. I think he was a boss, but like this white boss was fumbling, like, and I saw it on camera, and it was like this white guy was attacking him because I'm like, and he'd been working there for years, and the fact that he got let go, he attacked him. I'll never forget it. And I kid you not, I tried not to laugh, but I couldn't hold it, and I laughed, and I turned off the television, like, talking to myself, like, yo, this is real. I'm in this bubble for 3 years. I don't know what's gonna happen after that. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have no job. I was so focused on, my education to, like, hopefully it'll benefit me in the future. But like I said, that didn't turn out so well. Like anybody else, like everyone else during that time period. But this is my perspective, is the fact that I wish I didn't go to college. Because there's certain stories you hear about people who never went to college or dropped out, and they made it. And I remember I told myself back in 2008, like, man, if my two friends were here, I think we'd have, like, in my mind, I think I would have just been like, you know what? I think about it. I would have been like, bump it. I'm gonna drop out. I'm not gonna tell my parents. I know it sounds crazy. And I would have, like, me and them, we probably went and got a job and saved up enough money and had an apartment and try to make something. Because my two friends know, like, I'm the one who got the biggest noggin to, like, bust out, like, some ideas on the table. But after high school, like, and where I'm at now, it's like it just feels pathetic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels really pathetic. Like, I'm gonna be real honest, I don't believe in optimism. Like, I stopped a long time ago, and that was around middle school, because I didn't trust nobody. You know, it was like I don't know who was my friends or whatever. So that molded me. That made me who I am. Like shoot, I remember being told by my stepdad, like, you know, Kareem, have you thought about going to the military? I'll never forget that. And I was like, and I said, yeah, if I didn't have like, you know, the talent to like do drawings or something and take my talents to a higher educational purpose, right? But I said, yeah, I would have joined the military. But I didn't at the time. My mom was a bit, you know, fickle, scared. Now, mind you, like I was so, like I already knew what I wanted. I already knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an animator. Like that's it. Like I just wanted to do animation, make cartoons. I remember telling my mom that, and I thought she would have felt some type of way. You know how when kids have an idea of what they want to do, but then, you know how you seen on TV shows and movies about parents feeling some type of way when their child tell them like, oh, I want to do this. No, you can't do that because we want you to be a doctor. No, be a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist. They make more money. That's stupid. That's kid stuff. You know, stuff like that. I remember sitting in my karate class and I'm tired. I remember I was really tired and I came from piano practice. I remember that. I came from piano practice and I told my mom and I was like, Ma, you won't be mad if I tell you this, right? Like, no, go ahead, tell me. I want to be an animator. She said, okay, cool. And right then and there, that's what I wanted to do from here on out. Back to the school, the fact that my school was a scam, like, they kept taking out curriculums, and there's certain classes I couldn't take unless I took this class, and there's certain classes I couldn't take if I take that class. So when they took out animation, I was like, what? Even though it was teaching you how to do 3D animation, I'm like, yo, this would be, still, I would have been learning the basics on 3D, but they took that out, but it happened, and some of the professors were barely there, or some were like, and there was one professor I would say like who taught us about brand design and character design, and he was really good, and I liked him. We all did. It was like, yo, you got some cool skill sets, talent, combined with the computer knowledge and all that. I'm like, okay, cool. Over the years, I had to hold in a lot of stuff. And you know, from 2001 to 2019 would have been the finish line. The fact that people would still tell you today, because I never forget this, my next door neighbor, daughter named Erica, and I would like to say rest in peace to Mr. Butler, but I never forget what she told me. Kareem, you got 3 choices: military, college, or job. And I kid you not, I went back home like this. Like I just walked back home just doing this, like pondering, like I was in Pinky in the Brain, like, what am I gonna do? I'm in my room walking back and forth. So that should tell you I was real serious. And that's when I found out, at that time I found out what I wanted to do. And that was be an animator. And I'll never forget. I was watching Cartoon Network. I was watching Ed, Edd n Eddy, and I had pieces of paper on the floor, and my drawings, you know, my coloring in the bowl, in the bucket, and I'm just like, I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? And it's like, and I said to myself, you know, I'll figure it out later sometime. And I was just watching cartoons, and then as I was watching Ed, Edd n Eddy, I looked back at the floor where all my papers and coloring and drawings and stuff was at. And I look back at the TV, look back at the floor, look back at the TV, look back at the floor, look at the TV, and then it dawned on me, yo, I could be an animator. That's when, you know, if you take what I said previously when I went to my karate class and I told my mom, like that was after piano practice, and I told my mom, hey, you're not gonna get mad if I told you this, and she was fine with it. It's like you try to put everything in perspective, but as for me, it's like I just can't. I can't ride on optimism, because it's like going in a car. Optimism like a car that people are driving like a fast Ferrari, but the whole place is like vacant. Like there's no trees, nothing. It's just vast land, straight up land. But in my perspective, like, yo, they gonna hit something sooner or later. Like that's what it sounds like. That's what optimism is to me. Is like the fact that I believed in this since like high school and after college, and it's like, I kid you not, every job that I worked at, a lot of people look at me like, yo, what are you doing here? You got skills, man. And it's like, I've been saying the same, like, I don't know. I really don't know. And then there's people who will try to like push you with their words of affirmation, like further, like, you need to take this and do this. You need to take this and put it over here. And it's like, and I'm saying to myself in my brain, like, it's not that easy. And now y'all know, y'all say that to anybody. It's not going to be easy. I know that. So why are you telling me this? Like, for example, whenever you apply for a job, you just not, see, people do this a lot. They'll apply for a job and know they're not qualified for it, but they need it. I get it. Versus like when you get a job and they show you how to do it, and then you start gaining some skills, and then the more you gain, it's like new person come along, you're like, hey, this is how you do it. There's times where I know there's a lot of people who do like, they do it like this, but I do it like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do it like this, but I do it like this. Over the years, I've been hearing people tell me, put it somewhere here and here, and it's like, it's not gonna work like that. And one thing I remember telling myself, like, I only like I applied for a job that I know I'm good at, right? And as time moved on, like, I made it my whole life to like save up. It's been 2 years since I've been saving, right? Previously, I lost the money because, I had lost the job, and then I had to use whatever my savings to, hold up my bank account. I mean, I don't know, like, I've been thinking about this for a long time, man, and I've been saying, like, I should never went to college, and it's like I know what I want. I'm just telling y'all, like, make sure you have like some sort of means. And I'm saying this for anybody out there who's younger, right? Or who's just starting, right? Just save your money, make a decision that'll help you. Like right now, I can't afford this car. I used to drive a 97 Toyota Corolla till I got in a car accident. And like, that car been around me since 2008, all the way up to 2018. It was 9 years. It would be considered 10 years, but I got it in July. I think July, August, so around those parts. So it would have been 10 years, but I had it for nine and a half years. And I got in a car accident. And, I would hold a lot of stuff in. And even though I'm just saying this now, but there's a lot of stuff that I hold in. Prior to that, 2019 would have been it. 2019 would have been it. That would have been the finish line right there. I just thought about it. It's like this been in my mind for so long. Like, I should never went to college, and yet, I'm telling everyone who's young is like, save your money. I've been doing this since elementary. If you could hear from me, I've been doing this since elementary. My mom will give me $2 every day to pay for my lunch. Now, when I went, because that's when I was going to my new elementary school, Parkway Elementary, and every day $2 to pay. $2, one to pay for my lunch, and then one I could do whatever I want. Every time I did that, I forget I had the $1 in my pocket. I would go straight home, take stuff out of my pocket, put it in the in my drawer. So once I did that every day, I remember Mom gave me, and here's the thing, my mom told me when she noticed that when she went in my drawer, she I had like dollars left over. She was like, like it was surprised to her, like, because she thought I'd spend it, but like I just forgot about it. It's like every time I see the ice cream truck, I don't think about it. I just go home. I just go straight home. And what my mom did next time, she gave me $20. Now, seeing a 20 is like seeing 100. Now, she gave me a $20 to pay for the whole week of my lunch. and then she gave me $2 additional. That's when I knew, like, to make a decision. Okay, ice cream truck. What can I get from an ice cream truck for $1? So I don't have to spend the second dollar. So the $1, I was like, okay, it's 50 cents for it's 50 cents for like a slushie, and another 50 for one chip, which comes up to $1. So I was like, I'll have the small slushie and one chip. Paid it with $1, took my stuff and went home. And I already knew I had the other dollar in there, and I just pulled it out, put it to rest. And my mom made a little piggy bank to cut a slit in, right? So where I put all my dollars in. And so I've been doing that ever since. But ever since my mom put in a bank that was taking out fees, and that's the funny thing. I did not know nothing about no bank, but I remember I got mail for the first time as a kid. I was like, ooh, mail, because when you a kid, you think you important when you get mail. So I opened it, and I look into it, and I was like, and I remember what I had 500 something, and it dropped to like 300 something. So I'm looking like, this don't look right. Like, this straight up looks off. And I asked my mom, like, Mom, what's this? She's like, I don't know, Kareem. I'm like, what you mean you don't know? You a grown woman. You've been here before me. You should know this stuff. So I'm like, I'm mad. Like, I actually get it. Like, what happened to the rest of my money? That's half. And at the same time, I be thinking about, I wish my mom knew about the credit union. I wouldn't have to, like I said, I had old money looking at new money. I'm like straight up like telling y'all, like, for educational purposes, save your money. I just started going back and investing. I put $100 in Apple. So I'm investing in Apple. Previously I was doing it, but it was $10 and I took it out because I don't know why I did that, but maybe because I didn't have enough money. So but I put $100 investments in Apple, going back on that, and hopefully in the down the line I can make some 3 more investments. But I mean, I've done as much as possible. I've tried to keep a level head, and I don't know how long I could keep this up. These are my words of experience. Save your money, especially the ones who are younger, elementary, middle school, high school. Save your money. Put it in a savings account. Put it in a credit union. You have a better chance at a credit union. Find you a list of credit unions and put it in there. Because I found out about a credit union in 2012 with a coworker at the time who told me. I've been frustrated. I know a lot of you are frustrated for what's going on right now. But I mean, I've been through this too many times. And, I'm only 30. So, I mean, this has been one heck of a journey. And I just wanted to let y'all know, like, if anybody thinking about going to college, cool. Or starting off small, like educational wise, people say start like a trade school. I did not know nothing about trades, and I've been hearing a lot of people saying that you go to trade school. And I'm like, I don't want to go to any type of school where I have to pay, and it's like, I don't want to do that all over again. If I did that way back, that would have been a whole different story. Like, I went to a technical school, Turner Tech, and I learned television production. Mind you, I don't know where I can go to apply to for like television, like operate the equipment. I mean, I have a little experience from that, but I don't know if that's even required now. I'm just saying, like, you have YouTube, but YouTube is also a hard act to follow, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, save your money. invest 50 bucks, 30 bucks. Cause I know like I did 10 bucks. That's what I did. But me, this is when I had enough in my account where I put 100. But now, yeah, it's obvious. I'm struggling. You probably struggling. And what I did was I try to minimize my account as much as possible. Um, I have credit cards where I have two credit cards where I've been using and being smart with since 2012. The first thing I bought from that first credit card from Bank of America was a pack of gum, and I paid it on the same day, just so I can keep up, have my mind set for that. But mostly, like I said, anybody who's getting a credit card, be careful. All right, like they'll give you like cash backs. Try that. You know what I'm saying? Like try your hands on that, or try selling stuff that you don't need. Uh, Buy stuff that you do need and minimize your spending on what you don't want or can't get. That's what I've been doing. So right now I'm just sitting in this parking lot, in this plaza parking lot, trying to give y'all some word of advice at least. But yeah, save your money, invest, find you a educational school that could benefit you. Do your research, and whether it be college or trade school, find a degree that can help you out, benefit you. On top of that, try starting your own business. That's something I thought about way back in 2006 when on Christmas Eve, and I'll never forget, it was 2006 Christmas Eve. I told myself I wanted my own business. But yeah, that's my whole entire 29-minute 2 cents. So everybody take care.